All right, guys, so the engine's back in. I'm thinking we're sitting a little low. So this block of wood is roughly about 2 inches. So I'm less than 2 inches off the ground on the sump pump. So I'm thinking I got to raise this guy up. So looks like I know what I'm going to be doing tonight. We're going to be tearing into the suspension again and getting those leaf springs adjusted. So I think I'm going to be raising it up probably about an inch or two. Probably at least an inch, maybe 2 inches. I got to see what good size on that is. To be honest, I'm not too thrilled with how those wheels are leaning right now and how close the engine is. So, all right, let me get the tools out and get this thing lifted off the ground so I can start removing parts. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Off Axis Builds. Last video I was talking about how I was either going to put air shocks in the rear or do a suspension adjustment. I wound up doing the suspension adjustment only because I thought it would be easier. I had to tear apart the two sides, but it wasn't too bad. It actually came out pretty decent. I like the ride height now. In any case, I went back to 18 degrees. Stock is actually 21. So it still dropped it about an inch just with that adjustment. I am running the Adam Works drop spring plates, which drops at another 2.5 inches. So I'm sitting roughly about 3 inches lower, 3.5 inches lower, somewhere in there, than stock. So I'm pretty happy with it. Got about 3 inches underneath, 3 or 4 inches, somewhere in there. So in any case, just check out the rest of the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for upcoming notifications. All right, guys, let's get her done. Alright guys, so this is what I was talking about needing to remove, I have a strut bar that I gotta remove. I gotta remove my shock. And then I also gotta remove the sway bar and bottom of the shock before I can even get to these 3 bolts to remove the axle, so I can start adjusting this guy. And the reason why I need this off is because my adjustment goes in here to let the suspension down. So let's go ahead and get you guys back on the tripod, start removing a lot of this stuff. Alright guys, so now that I got my strut out, the shocks out, and all the little stuff on that, I can remove these 3 bolts now. 3/4 or 19 millimeter. So let's go ahead and get those 3 removed from both sides, and then I can strap the axle back to something on the exhaust, or just pull it back just enough to where I can get to this plate to be able to raise and lower it. Mention, make a little mark right on this little notch on your spring plate. That'll help line everything back up when you put it back together, so your axle is actually sitting at the right spot. Because if you put it too far forward, your wheel will sit like this. You put it too far back, your wheel will sit like this. So you want it straight, obviously, right? So if you make the mark before you pull it off, it'll go right back to the same, close to the same angle that you had before. So anyways, let's go ahead and get that last one off, and then I can pull this axle. Removing this, you want to make sure that you loosen this tool, whatever tool you use, to the point where it's loose. I mean, you can get your hands on these bolts and loosen them up yourself. Once that's done, all of the tension is removed from this shaft. Looks like I might need just to go a little bit more, and then it'll be completely removed. Okay, so you're going to want to get one of these guys to give you the angle of that top part. Now, the correct angle is 21 degrees for 68 Volkswagen Bug. Each model is different, each year is different, but I believe you can do, I want to say 67 to 70, you can do 21 degrees. Right now I have it a little bit above 15. So I'm going to want to change that angle to be a little bit more. But mind you, when you do this angle, you want to check how level the car is. Right now my car is leaning forward, so I want to get that angle minus this angle. I think I actually have less of an angle because of the fact that the car is leaning. So let me go ahead and get those measurements. Alright guys, so I got the spring set back in there. Now I just need to put the axle back in. So I just got to take the axle strap off that I have on it, slide the axle back in here, and line up this groove to this little white line that I have here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this axle strap off. I got the two sides tight and bolted down. Just want to double check to make sure I have everything tight. I just got to tighten up the shock and get my strut tower or struts back in and tie those back in down there and up here. So let's go ahead and get that back in before I tighten this up fully. Alright guys, so I got the rear end set about another 1.5 inches higher than what it was. Started out with it about 1.5 inches off the ground. I'm sitting about 3 inches now, 3 1/4, somewhere in there. So I'm pretty happy with it. It still sits a little bit low, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it like that and run it for a little bit and see if I'm gonna get any scraping on speed bumps and whatnot. I hope not. I like the look of it. I like where it's sitting right now. But if it's rubbing, then I'm gonna have to do something about it. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell for upcoming notifications. All right guys, remember it's built, not bought. See you in the next one.